And good afternoon, wherever you may be, and welcome to this presentation of Major League Baseball on the Coliseum Sports Network, powered by MLB 13 The Show. Today's presentation, we bring you the Miami Marlins and the Minnesota Twins from Target Field in downtown Minneapolis. Glad that you could join me here on a beautiful evening in the Twin Cities. I'm Raymond Sims, here to call the balls and strikes for you, as the Marlins and Twins, two teams in the basement but looking up, are ready to face off in this exhibition matchup. First things first, we'll take a look at the lineup for the visiting Miami Marlins. And it will look like this. Adeiny Hechavarria will lead off, followed by Christian Yelich and Giancarlo Stanton. That'll be followed by Morrison, Dobbs, Lucas, Marisnick, Solano, and Mathis at catcher. The pitcher they'll be going up against is Kevin Correa. Correa, 8-8 on the season, looking to go above 500 with his win record. He comes in with a 4.59 ERA here in 2013. And he will take on a pretty much young Miami team. Season started off with some veterans that might be on their way down, but the youth movement has begun in Miami here in 2013, and it begins this afternoon with Adeiny Hechavarria, the shortstop. First pitch from Correa here in the top of the first is smacked high in the air, left field, over the warning track and gone. First pitch Hechavarria sees is sent for a home run into left field. And not the start that you want to see if you are a Twins fan here at Target Field. Hechavarria rounding the bases here. Only his third home run on the season and his 27th RBI. And he got his third home run with authority. And so already the table is set here in the top of the first, and Miami has the lead for rookie Christian Yelich. Let's see if the second pitch of the game is in a better favor for Correa, and it is a slider below the knee, ball one. So maybe not the best fortune, but it's better than throwing a pitch for a home run. We'll see if this will be his first strike of the game, the 1-0. Yep, there it is on the slider, strike one. So he's thrown a ball, a strike, and he's given up a home run in 3 pitches. As said before in the intro, Kevin Correa had a 4.59 ERA, so that's probably going to kick it up a notch. Yelich gets a piece of this one, rounded up, and the out is made at first. 5-3 put out here against Christian Yelich. And that'll give us time to take a look at the fielding arrangement for the Twins. Willingham, Thomas, and Arcia out in the outfield. Then Plouffe, who just made the putout. Florimon, Dozier, and Morneau at first. And, of course, behind the plate, Joe Mauer. And next up here, if you were worried about Hechavarria getting a home run, here's Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton was drafted in 2007 by the then Florida Marlins and debuted with the Marlins in 2010, and yet he may be one of the veterans of this team outside of Juan Pierre, who has not gotten the start today. 1-1 count to Stanton after the slider. Giancarlo Stanton, the Californian from the San Fernando Valley, Panorama City to be exact. And he'll foul back this one, 1-2 count. He's had a pretty good season. High slugging percentage with 439, but 237. His batting average below average. Of course, more of a power guy. But he swings and misses here on the fastball. And that's out number 2 and Correa's first strikeout. And so after giving up a leadoff home run Correa has recovered here for 2 straight outs. Giancarlo Stanton, a victim of 2 strikeouts in his last appearance at Kansas City. And so he gets another one to start things off here this evening in Minneapolis. And now here's the first baseman, Logan Morrison. Morrison will take this pitch at the kneecaps inside for ball 1. Logan Morrison batting .276. 4 home runs on the season. His season actually got off to a late start as he was nursing an injury for the better part. But now here he is in his 48th game. And he's trying to pick up and make up for lost time. The slider's low for strike 1. And here's the 1-1 from Correa. This one outside. Correa's last start was on the 11th in Chicago. Pitched 7 innings even, got the win. But he gave up 5 hits while striking out 7 and only walking 1. Morrison fouling this one off. Two count to Morrison. That pitch broke, but Morrison was able to get at least a piece of it and stay alive here in the at-bat. 2 outs, none on, 2-2 count. And Morrison gets a piece of this one, rounded up by Florimon, and the out is made at first. And so that will do it for the top of the first inning. Adeiny Echeverria put the Marlins on the board, but they couldn't get anything else going. 1-0 as Minnesota will come up to bat for the first time. And so let's take a look at the lineup for the Minnesota Twins as they will come up to bat for the first time this evening. Brian Dozier will lead things off, followed by Joe Mauer and Justin Morneau. Then it'll be Willingham, Arcia, Herman, Plouffe, Thomas, and Florimon. They'll be taking on the rookie Jose Fernandez. The Cuban defector has had a great season so far, coming in 8-5 with a 2.45 ERA. Of course, he doesn't want to suffer the same fate Correa just did with a leadoff home run. But against a guy like Brian Dozier, who already has 12 home runs on the season, that may not be easy to do. Here's a quick look at the defensive lineup, and we may take another look at it a little later, but for now, it'll be Yelich, Marisnick, and Stanton in the outfield. It'll be Lucas, Echeverria, Solano, and Morrison in the infield from third to first, and Mathis behind the plate. And so here's the aforementioned Brian Dozier, pride of Tupelo, Mississippi, Southern Miss Eagle. Looking to get a hit. He didn't get one in four plate appearances, and he won't get one this time as the out is made at first to Morrison. First pitch he sees, he tried to get on in front of it, but no good as Morrison is able to make the play unassisted. But that does make room for the all-star Joe Mauer. Started at catcher for the American League. Gets a piece of this one. This will travel into left center field. It's still carrying, and that will be a home run. And so Kevin Correa let off the hook after giving up a leadoff home run, as Jose Fernandez gives up a home run of his own. And we're even once again at 1-1. And I must say, well played, Mauer. He takes a fastball and sends it the other way, carrying left center field. almost didn't have the distance, but fell right in front of the gate to the outfield seats. And he'll tie up the game for the Twins. And so now here's the Canadian, Justin Morneau. Weak hit, picked up by Fernandez. He'll scoop it over to Morrison for out number 2. So a quick recovery there by Fernandez, as he will assist with the putout. And it's things like that you like to see out of the pitcher, redeeming himself with a defensive play or a defensive assist. So here's Josh Willingham. He'll line one down the third base line, and he'll get on with a single. And so the inning not yet over here. Willingham getting a good piece of it on the first pitch, and he'll send it the other way. Of course, it was a little too early on for the Marlins to be in any defensive alignment guarding the lines, and Willingham took advantage of that as he was able to pull it down the left field line. And so here is Oswaldo Arcia, who's had a pretty good couple of weeks. First season with the Twins for the Venezuelan. For the good part of the past 3-4 years, he's been toiling in the Twins organization in the minors. But now he's come up this season. 10 home runs to his name, 31 RBIs, .262 batting average. And he's also been great with the glove out there in the outfield. So a lot to look forward to out of this 22-year-old. He'll get a piece of this one as it fouls down the first base line. That's Willingham on first, 2 out, and now 3 out as Arcia swings and misses. And we got ourselves a whole new ball game as Mauer is able to equalize it with a home run to left center field. 1-1 as we head into the top of the second. Welcome back to Minneapolis. Designated hitter Greg Dobbs up to bat for Miami. Looking to get some offense going. First pitch he'll take from Correa is a strike. Dobbs did play in that game at Kansas City on Thursday, or on Wednesday rather. 1 for 4 with a strikeout and a walk. Hoping for a better day tonight. It's been a so-so season for him overall. .235 with a couple of home runs. Three pitches, 3 strikes, and down goes Dobbs. And so already not off good to a good start there as he'll go down swinging to start off the top of the second. We'll take a look at the show track here. 2 pitches outside, and then Correa finally gets him with the one inside. And so here's the third baseman, Ed Lucas. 31-year-old from Port Orange, Florida. He'll take a fastball here for strike 1. Been in organized baseball since 2004 when he was drafted by the Royals. But he came to Miami in the offseason. He was jammed on this one, and the out is made by Dozier. And that's number 2. And you take a look at it on show track, and that's just not a good pitch to swing on at all. It essentially wasn't even in the zone. And so here is Jake Marisnick, another Californian out of the Inland Empire. Hits this one directly to Plouffe, and the out is made at first. That's number 3. 1-2-3 inning for the Twins. And now they'll come out on offense in the bottom of the second. Herman, Plouffe, Thomas all due up. Bottom second from beautiful Target Field. One of the youngest parks in Major League Baseball. A lot of thought and care went into the building of this place for the hometown Twins, who've actually been on rough times, but they hope that a beautiful stadium will be a catalyst to another contending dynasty, as was seen in the early 2000s. Chris Herman currently up. He's the DH today, coming out with the two-toned bat. Strikes out, but some housekeeping at first, and they complete the putout. And so Herman strikes out with the 2-3 putout. And next up, third baseman Trevor Plouffe. First pitch, a fastball high for ball 1. Trevor Plouffe, also from the San Fernando Valley, went to high school in Encino, was born in West Hills. Gets a piece of this one, fouled up in the air, and the out made by Lucas. And so after some shocking home runs by both pitchers, it looks like we may see some 1-2-3 innings here in the second. But it does come down to Cleet Thomas with 2 outs and none on in the bottom of the second. And he'll take the fastball. He thought about it for a second there, but didn't take the bat off his shoulder. Cleet Thomas only in his 61st game of the season, been on and off the injured list. Swings and misses on the changeup here. When he has been in the lineup, he's batted .231 with 4 homers and 13 RBIs. One-two count to him right now. Actually had a pretty good night yesterday against the White Sox. A stunning win there, 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth. Walk-off single. Speaking of singles, can he get under this one? He cannot. And the out made by Yelich in the outfield. And so another 1-2-3 half inning. And so we'll already head to the top of the third, and it's 1 even from Minneapolis. Welcome back to Minneapolis. Raymond Sims coming to you here in the top of the third. We're almost finished with the lineup here for the Marlins. Is the second baseman Donovan Solano. First pitch he sees is a slider pretty much at his shoestrings. 1-0 count to him. And now here's the 1-0. Off-speed pitch, well outside of the zone. Kevin Correa giving up a first pitch leadoff home run to Adeiny Echeverria. But since then, he's retired the next 6 batters, including 2 strikeouts. And now 3. I'm sorry, that's the first strike of the at-bat there, 2-1. But that was a vicious swing there by Solano. Correa making good use of the slider. Probably avoiding the fastball there, as that's exactly what Echeverria lifted off on. 2-1. Solano gets a piece of this one. The dive by Plouffe is able to keep it in field, but Solano's still on with a single. We'll be sure to confirm that with the score, but I'm sure that's an infield hit there, as at least Plouffe was able to keep it from going out into the outfield for possibly extra bases. But as we figure that out, here is Jeff Mathis coming in at catcher. And it is, in fact, a base hit, as you can see on your screen. So the decision has been laid down by the score. That's only Correa's second hit he's given up in this game. And we're through 2 innings. First pitch to Mathis, a strike, 0-1 count. His stat line, not all that pretty, Jeff Mathis. 187 batting average in 155 at-bats. This is only his 50th game of the year, as he's been coming up and down from New Orleans. Coy Hill was just signed. He's in New Orleans right now. He's supposed to come up today, but that didn't work out. So Rob Brantley's still in the lineup, but he's probably be the one that'll be sent down, as they will look to keep the veteran Jeff Mathis. One-two count here for Mathis. This one hit weakly. Florimon is able to start off the 6-4-3 double play. And so 2 outs, just like that. And here is the leadoff man yet again as we restart the lineup, Adeiny Hechavarria. Of course, the first pitch he saw last time was a fastball sent for a home run. This time it's fastball low for ball 1. It's been a crazy season for the Miami Marlins, 46-73 on the year. A lot of turnover, a lot of coming up and down from New Orleans. But the one constant, Adeiny Hechavarria, 106. This is his 106 games. He's played 105. And he's really been the only constant there at shortstop. Seems like everybody else around him has been in and out of the lineup, be it for injury, be it for being designated for assignment. So it's good on the Marlins' part. I guess a silver lining in a rough season, that at least there's some consistency somewhere on the field. Somewhat surprising that he's the leadoff man, but perhaps it's because he's around so much. He only has a .273 on-base percentage. Gets a good piece of this one, and he'll foul this one over. One-two count here for Adeiny. And he'll take the slider outside. Of course, Hechavarria, a part of that huge trade with Toronto that essentially sent all of the Marlins stars from 2012 to north of the border. He came back down south of the border. A little closer to home, he is from Cuba. And so now, instead of trying to make a name up in Canada, he'll do what he can do in the black and warm red. The payoff pitch to Hechavarria. And he'll smack this one. Will it land? No! Diving catch by Arcia. And he gets the third out. Oswaldo Arcia, very good at making plays like that. And he gets the Twins out of the inning. It's still 1-1, heading into the bottom of the third. Bottom of the third here for Minneapolis, and here's the shortstop, Pedro Florman. Smacks the first pitch he sees, and Morrison will step on the bag for out number 1. And just like that, we're back at the top of the lineup here. Here's Brian Dozier. And the last time he was up, Morrison made an unassisted out. Fastball there for ball 1, high 90s. Can't question his velocity. Just a matter of control. Another fastball, mid-90s this time, also out of the zone. So 2-0 count already. Fernandez in trouble, going to have to work his way back. I was talking about Echeverria in the top of the third being from Cuba. Fernandez also from Cuba. Pretty heartwarming story there as he defected from Cuba. Still tries to keep in contact with his grandmother there, who tries to listen to his games as best as she can. This one down the line, and another 3 unassisted by Dozier. And I guess he just loves hitting the ball there to Morrison. That's out number 2. And so now here's Joe Mauer. As said before, he started at catcher in this year's All-Star game, which was in Queens, New York. That was his 6th time at the rodeo there. And he'll get a piece of this one, 0-1. Joe Mauer, a hometown kid here, was drafted by this very franchise in 2001 and would 3 years later make his debut. Oh, 1 pitch at the ankles there, 1-1. And pretty much ever since 2004, Joe Mauer's been the face of the franchise. And this season, he's had a great season. If only his teammates could follow suit. This one popped up in the air, outmade by Marisnik. And that's number 3 right there. And that'll do it for the third inning. Still 1-1 as things have settled down. We'll head into the top of the fourth, see what the Marlins can do there.